Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class. We're going to start in a seated position, so in your own time you can start to make your way up. Everyone has one book. And as you arrive, just crossing the shins, coming into a pose called easy seat. Bring the hands to rest somewhere at the knees. Let the eyes fall shut. There's attention on not squeezing the eyes closed, but rather just finding that soft touch of upper eyelid to lower eyelid. Relaxing muscles of the face. Jaw, throat, shoulders. And then noticing your next breath as you breathe in through the nose, pouring that breath down and into the belly. Maybe holding it for a moment before letting it pour back out. And just beginning to attune yourself to yourself. Being curious about if you really looked into this moment, what would you find? When the Buddha was asked why some people are at peace and present and moving towards enlightenment fairly easy and others were suffering, his answer was that those who ask a lot of questions end up wise. But it's not the kind of questions that we ask of authority, or the answers that we find in books or at lectures. It's those who ask the questions of themselves. What's going on here? What's this reaction I'm having? What's this thought? What's this feeling in my body? And so in this quiet moment before we begin to move, maybe consult inward. Check out the landscape of your heart, your inner terrain, and just know what's there. T.S. Eliot has a great quote about the journey of awakening. He says, "We shall not cease from exploration. And in the end of all of our exploring, we'll be back to arrive where we started. And we'll know the place for the very first time." Let's bring our palms together at our hearts, recognizing that this journey that we're on, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays right here. Everything we need to learn is right here. Everything we need to experience is right here. And we start right here with our mind-body experience that we're having right now. Making that internal intention to stay present. Let's gently release the hands back down to the knees. And just begin to roll the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Keep the eyes closed. Just finding the full circumference of movement at the shoulders, squeezing them up to the ears, rolling them back and down. Start to couple that with breath. Breathing in as the shoulders roll up and breathing out as the shoulders roll back and down. Staying with that inward gaze, just being curious about any thoughts that bubble up, any reactions you might have. And then reverse directions. At the bottom of your exhale, just roll your shoulders back and up, forward and down. And see if, as smooth as the breath is, you can smooth this movement out in the shoulders, becoming a little less jerky. And as the shoulders sit back low on the back, bring your hands behind the back, clasp all 10 fingers. The eyes can remain closed here. Bend the elbows behind you and squeeze the inner elbows towards one another. As you clasp all 10, squeeze the palms together. Feel the shoulder blades pulling towards one another, hugging the spine, and then extend the arms, straightening the elbows. The knuckles are moving down towards the mat behind you. The chest is naturally starting to open. There might be a sensation of spread across the heart. You might consider how often you move through your day with your heart this open, this expression of leading with the heart. Think about how often you're guided by just the head. They call that the throne of the ego. So once again, just consulting your whole being. The heart space allowed to express and open here. Nice. And as best as you can, keeping the outer shins grounded, the outer feet grounded, just bring your bodies forward over your legs and let your knuckles lift off of the floor and start to maybe track up the back wall. Maybe you let the head go. For some of us, the head might even set to the floor, and just find your own edge. Gently releasing the hands, pick yourself back up to neutral. Roll over the knees, come to your hands and knees in table pose. And place the wrists beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips. And let's face the purple wall. Without the mirror, the purple wall without a mirror. You're all purple. Okay. On your next breath in, lift your chest, lift your sits bones, and find that nice big curve in the spine. On your exhale, rounding the spine, gaze towards the navel. Pull the belly up and in. Inhale, cow pose. Opening up across the chest, letting the belly soften. And then exhale, pushing the floor away, rounding tailbone all the way up to the top of your head. Inhale through cow. And then exhale through cat. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale for cat. Last one, big breath in for cow. Exhaling for cat. Nice. Inhale, neutralize the spine. And then walk the knees in towards midline. Tuck the toes under. Just pad your hands back just in front of the knees as the hips come towards the heels. Toes are tucked. Spread that pinky toe out to the side, make space in the toes. And if it's okay for your body, climb your hands up to the thighs, bring more weight into the heels. And if this is excruciating, bring your hands back down to the floor. Close the eyes, release the jaw. feel the points that are in contact with the floor and try to soften there. Feel maybe the arches of the feet, the joints at the toes, maybe the ankles, the opening of the fascia in the feet. Press a little more into the big toe. Take a deep breath in and then out. Just bringing your hands to your hips. Now press down to rise up. You can let your eyes open. You'll come all the way up onto the knees. And then stretch your left leg out to the side. Bringing your left foot to the floor. Nice. From there you can slide your left hand down your left calf. As your right arm goes up, take an inhale, reaching through the fingertips. And on your exhale, begin to track those right fingertips to the left side of the room for gate pose. And just finding the right amount of stretch for the right side body. Keep the hips squared forward, pressing slightly forward. Tailbone lengthening down. If it feels good, let your left ear fall to your left shoulder. If the position of your head is creating strain in your neck and in your face, then just adjust and fix it. On your next breath in, think about getting the breath right into the space between the lower right rib and the right hip. Get the breath up into the spaces between each of your ribs. Get the breath into the right armpit and shoulder. Very nice. Bring that right hand back down to the hip. Bring your left hand back to the hip and draw your left knee back into the floor. Nice. Switching sides. Shift your weight to your left knee. Step your right foot out. Slide right hand down, outer right thigh towards the calf, maybe the ankle. Left arm reaches up with an inhale. Create as much space as possible and then slide down over to the right. Again, what's happening in your body? Where do you feel it the most? Is there a certain place in your body that needs a little more breath, a little more space, a little more tension? The yogis teach us that our breath matches the movement of prana in our body, which is life force energy, animates us, keeps us alive. And the simple intention of sending prana to a certain part of the body is healing, very therapeutic, calming. And so at any time that you need to, just directing your breath and your prana to any part of your body that's in need. Take another breath here. And exhale, the hands come back to neutral onto the hips. The right knee comes in to meet the left. Nice. Bring your palms to the floor in front of the knees. Tuck your toes if they're not still. And just press into a forward fold at the back of your mat. So just tuck the toes under. Lift the knees up as you walk your hands back towards the toes. Take your time. Feet are hip width or wider as you take your elbows coming into a ragdoll position. If you need the support of your blocks, you can always set those blocks up underneath your palms. And simply let your body hang here, lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Steady and even your breath. Take an inhale. Feed your body with breath. Feel the breath at the throat. And exhale to soften. Once more, take a nice deep breath in. And exhale all the way out. Now bring the palms to the shins and lengthen the spine with an inhale. Offer the heart forward. Bring the shoulder blades right onto the back. So see if you can identify that movement of shoulder blades that firm against the back ribs. And then send the heart more towards the front edge of your mat. And then fold back in, keeping the shoulder blades against the back ribs, coming into more of an Uttanasana posed shape. Just take a breath here, in and out. Again, halfway lift. This time we'll come up halfway. We'll bring our hands to our hips as we exhale, squeezing the elbows back and together. Look forward and rise. Come all the way up to standing. Check that your feet are hip width, and then release the hands down to the sides. And close the eyes in mountain pose. We did some work to open up the feet. As you spread out each toe, rock forward and rock back. Rock side to side. And then maybe let your crown trace the numbers on a clock as you let yourself rotate around the outer parts of the feet. One time to the left. One time to the right. And then slowly bring yourself to a neutral place where you feel grounded. In your mind's eye, just feel that you could send roots deep down into the earth, anchoring you and grounding you to this moment. And through that connection with the earth below you, feel like you could send any distractions, any negativity, any obstacles that you need to be purified down into the earth. So on your breath in, let the eyes open, sweep the arms overhead, feel the legs engage, the kneecaps lift in Urdhva Hastasana, volcano pose. Heart is lifting, tailbone anchoring. Pull your thighs towards one another. Pull your inner calves towards one another. Activate the feet, lifting the arches, softening the toes. Reach a little bit higher. Pull the heart away from the front of your pelvis. And then folding forward all the way down, Uttanasana pose. Halfway lift, look forward. Extend the legs. And then walk your hands all the way forward to plank pose. All the way forward till the point where you feel your heels are over the toes. Your wrists are beneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers out and find the inner parts of your hands, base of thumb, index finger, knuckles. Feel free to drop your knees at any point. But again, shoulder blades are firm against the back ribs. Hips are lifted just a little higher than you think they need to be. And then pull the frontal hip bones to the bottom set of ribs so that you're engaging there. Cinch in around the low belly like a pair of drawstring pants where you would tie them. Breathe. Broaden the collarbones. Look slightly forward. And then press into a down dog. Lead with your hips. Thighs back. Sink the heels down. First downward dogs. I invite you to pedal the legs. Bend the knees. Shift the hips side to side. Again, are you still asking those questions of yourself? Are you consulting that inner book, that source of wisdom? What's this tension here? Is it sourced from something that you did over the weekend, the week before? Or is it sourced a chronic tension that you hold in your body? Again, press into the palms, look forward, bring it to plank pose. Heels are over the toes, wrists beneath the shoulders. Feel free to drop the knees. Take an inhale, lengthening from the crown to the heels. Exhale to lift the belly up and in. Stay in plank, take another inhale. And then move back, downward dog, exhale. With the breath, inhale to plank. Come forward. Exhale, downward dogs. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dogs, pushing the floor away with the hands, extending the spine. Inhale, plank. Last time. Exhale, downward dogs. Inhale, plank pose. Drop the knees and lower down to the floor. Coming all the way down and sliding the elbows beneath the shoulders for Sphinx. So walk the forearms forward until your elbows are propped directly beneath your shoulders. So if you were to look side to side, you would see that the elbows to the shoulders are perfectly vertical to the floor. As you push your palms, elbows down into the floor, slightly drag the floor to you, which will help to prop the heart up. Maybe you feel a little bit of the flesh at the belly peel away from the mat. And find a way of sinking your pelvis down. What can you do in your body to extend the tailbone back, push the pubic bone down, and click the pinky toes into the floor at the same time so that the inner thighs are rotating towards the ceiling, and make the legs really heavy and strong. This pose neutralizes the spine and also helps with digestive issues. Very good therapeutic posture to hold. It might not feel like much, but there's lots of time in yoga when you do much. So enjoy this. Breathe. And we're going to now start doing much. So we're going to drop the head forward. Drop the head forward, gaze towards maybe the ribs or the chest. Keep your forearms pressing down just your head. So try to stay in Sphinx. Just drop the head. Yeah, just drop the head. Now as you push your elbows and your fingertips into the floor and forward now, peel the belly away from the mat. Peel the hips away from the mat. Peel the thighs away from the mat. Peel the knees away from the mat. Come all the way to your tiptoes. Not your tiptoes, the tops of your toes. So keep your toes pointed. Yeah. Peel all the way up into your toe tips. Look back. Look at your toes. Look at the tops of your feet. Stretching the front of your ankles. You got it. You had it. Drop your head though. Drop your head. Laughing makes it harder. So laugh. All you want. But lift. Go, Kathy. Go. And then lower back down. Knees down, hips down, belly down. Now as you inhale, you lift your chest. So inhale, look forward, and shine your heart forward. Now think it's like vertebra by vertebra. So drop head, and then start to pull your spine towards the ceiling. Push the floor away. Lift the hips. Look at your toes. Look at your ankles. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees, thighs, hips, belly. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, drop head. Peel up. Pause. Inhale, core strong, pushing into the floor. Exhale, drop the shins, knees, thighs, hips, belly. Inhale, lift the chest. One more set. Exhale, drop the head. Look back. Keep peeling your body off the floor until you can see your ankles. Keep peeling, peeling, peeling. Pull the belly in. Take an inhale. And then exhale, lower slowly down. Knees, hips, belly. Lift the chest. Now you can stay here in this last Sphinx or straighten your arms. Push the floor away and lift the elbows off the floor. So this increases the back bend. Keep your hands where they were in Sphinx. Just straighten your arms. So find Sphinx and then just straighten the arms. There we go. You can turn your fingertips out a little bit. It helps the wrists. And if you feel like you need more, just walk the hands in a step more. Make the legs again really heavy. Wrap the shoulders onto the back. Shine the heart forward. You might feel a little bit of compression in the low back. As long as it's free of pain, it's fine. This actually builds bone density, bone health, increases circulation there. Nice, and then lower slowly back down to the floor. Slide your palms along your shoulders. Zip your legs together. Click the pinky toes down. The inner thighs rotate up slightly. Make the legs 10 pounds heavy. Preparing for Cobra Bhujangasana. Peel the chest up. Shine the heart forward. Wrap the shoulders into the back. Try not to wear the ears or the shoulders like earrings, which means they're right up around the ears. Drop them back and down. And then exhale, lower back down to the floor. Press into your hands and your knees. And rest your hips to your heels for child's pose. As your hips press down into the heels, just let your belly go soft. Let the face and the jaw relax. And pressing up into your palms, come to your hands and your knees. As you arrive in table pose, slide your right foot forward between your thumbs. Keep keep the right foot just inside the right thumb. So you're not stepping to dead center of the hands. You're stepping just over to the right, inside that right thumb. Now, slide the left knee back a touch. Most of us can do this a little bit. Yeah. Try not to be right on the very top of your left kneecap. So you want to go back just a touch. And then bring your right palm to your right thigh. Push down and forward. Sweep your left arm up. So right hand stays on right leg. Left arm goes up. So you're just picking yourself up into supported Anjaneyasana here. As you inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, melt the hips forward and down until you get to your edge. You'll feel it in that left frontal hip. Keep wrapping your right hip under you. Squeezing your inner thighs towards the midline, drawing the low belly in and up. Lifting the heart and deepening the shoulder blades together on the back. And take an in-breath here, and on your out-breath, start to take your left hand to the right. You don't have to go very far to get an increased stretch in that left hip, maybe even into the psoas a little bit, something around the low back. And if it's in your practice to take that right hand and let it fall towards the floor on the right side, maybe even connect to the floor with the right fingertips, go ahead and find that. Keep breathing. Take an inhale here. Now as you exhale, reach the left arm forward and down until it connects to the floor inside of the right foot. Tuck the left toes under, and as you push the left heel back, the left knee lifts, the right arm sweeps to the sky for lunging twist. So left hand is down as the right arm sweeps up. If you don't want to lift the back leg, feel free to set it right back down to the floor. But do pick the low belly up and turn it. Shoulder blades work together on the back. Really lift out of that left hand. Try not to dump into the left shoulder. And keep wrapping that right hip beneath you. Take another breath here. As you bring your right hand down inside of your right foot, we're going to pivot over to the left. We're going to bend the left knee and kind of sway over to the left leg. And then we're going to sway back over to the right leg. So just kind of waking up those legs, just going back and forth. You can make little figure eights in the floor with your fingertips. And the next time you go to the left, turn to the left. Drop the right knee down. Slide the right knee back as much as comfortable for your body. Left hand finds the top of the left thigh. And you push forward and down to lift up. Right arm reaches. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, melting the hips. Try to press the entire top of your right foot down. Draw the low belly in. You can stay here. Or you can start to side bend, taking the right hand over to the left. You're getting more of a side body stretch. If it's in your practice to let that left hand reach to the floor or find a block even. And just take a few breaths into that right side. Keep the hips melting forward. Keep the heart lifting. And then breathe all the way down into whatever part of your body that's really talking to you right now. Nice. Take another inhale. Right hand comes forward and lands down inside of that left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee off the floor as the left arm spins to the sky. Rinsing it out with a nice twist. Low belly draws in and turns. Heart open. Take another breath. Back leg super strong and straight. Left hand down inside of left foot. Pivot over towards your right foot, bending right knee. Then over to the left foot, bending left knee. And just go back and forth at your own pace. Really working into those big dense muscles of the legs. A lot of being present enough to inquire inwards is being grounded, allowing yourself to be here. The yogis teach us that requires grounding energy, which is really getting strong into our lower half, into our legs, into our hips, into our feet. Pivot over to the right, to the top of your mat. And step forward, slide that left foot forward. You'll be folding Uttanasana, top of mat, dropping the head. Nice. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. As you inhale, sweep arms out to the sides and come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Plug the thumbs right into the heart space. Close your eyes. Reconnect to the earth beneath you, the grounding, earthy energy of your legs. We're going to bring ourselves into a balance. Garudasana, or eagle pose. To start, bring your feet together, let your eyes open. Spread out your toes. And then inhale, bend the knees deeply and sweep the arms up. Utkatasana, chair. Hips drawing back, the front ribs drawing in, the tailbone lengthens. Sweep the right arm beneath the left arm at the elbow, squeezing the forearms together, moving the thumbs away from the forehead. And then shifting your weight to your left foot, take your right leg, lift it up and over as high over that left leg as you can, and bring the ankle to wrap to the back of the left calf. Line up your joints, draw your shoulders back over your hips, and then slide down. Continue to move. When you feel like you meet an edge, breathe into that edge. To soften, you'll find there's a little more space. Gaze is at a single point, your drishti. Maybe just noticing what this pose stirs up inside of you. One more breath. Long inhale, squeezing your limbs together. And then exhale to stand. Release right foot next to the left. Sweep the arms up with an inhale. Lift the heart. Maybe lean back. Hands travel quietly down to the heart space. Close the eyes. Clearing your slate. Making that internal agreement to go into the next side as mindfully and as focused as possible. Bend the knees. Inhale, the arms reach high. Utkatasana, or chair pose. Steady the gaze as you sweep your left arm beneath your right. Squeeze the arms together. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Lift your left leg over your right leg. Maybe the ankle to the back of the calf. Steady your gaze and begin to deepen, but only as far as you can go while still breathing steady, long, even breaths. As you find an edge, continue to breathe deep and soften into that edge. Squeezing the legs, squeezing the arms. One more breath. And exhale, the left foot meets the right. Stand, inhale, the arms sweep up. Standing back bend, make those legs super strong, supporting that back bending action in the spine as the hips press forward. And then fold it all the way down to the floor. And as you arrive, separate the feet to hip width distance. A few different options. Take an inhale, flat back. As you exhale, you can either reach your arms around the backs of the knees, hold on to the elbows, or thread your hands crossing the wrists, grabbing the front of your shins from behind. So take your arms behind your legs first, and then take your shins. Take an inhale and lengthen your front body. Feel space come into the body from the pubic bone to the navel, to the sternum. The front of the spine gets heavy as you exhale. Pull that part of your body forward and down over the legs, lengthening through the low back. Release the back of your neck and turn on your Ujjayi pranayama, employing those whispering breaths, whispering muscles in the back of the throat. And see if your head can let go just a touch more as your sits bones lift up the back wall, as your thighs spread open, backs of the legs open towards the back wall, as the knees open, the calves, the ankles, the feet are grounded, maybe come forward a touch into the toes. Feel the hips come right over the ankles. One more breath. Very nice. Releasing the arms. Inhale the arms back up. So circle arms all the way back up. Palms touch. Keep your palms pressing. Step your left foot back. Big step back. Turn the toes slightly out. And turn your torso to the left. Take your arms out to the sides. Lift your kneecaps. Your legs are straight. Reach forward. Triangle pose. So again, that big side stretch in the left side. In triangle pose, we're going to move that left arm a few times. So take the left arm and it's like you're swimming through water. Just turn the palm down and circle it down. See if you can bring your fingertips almost to touch the floor. And then sweep it back up to the ceiling. So continue to do that. Really reach through the left arm as you take it forward and brush it down. Feeling into the low left back. Move as fast or as slow as it's right for you. Each time you bring that left arm up, look for that length in the spine. Look for that kind of tautness in your body, pulling and lengthening, extending, and then go for that soft sweep down and release back up. We'll go one more set. So circle the arm, look for as much space, go super slow, reach down, spread into the low back, and then extend the left arm up to the ceiling. And pause. Look up to the left thumb. The back of the skull moves back, the right hip moves under. The right side of the body lengthens with the left. And can you just get one really clear, deep, mindful, present breath in at this moment? Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Push into your right foot, come all the way up. Pivot right toes in, left toes out. Reach forward. Triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana to the back wall. Take a big breath as you reach up, expand out from the chest through the fingertips. Keep that length, sweep the right arm forward. Let your heart turn in a little bit as you reach down to the floor. Stretching into that low back, keep the back leg strong, and then inhale, reach it back up. Do this a few times. And the next time you bring the right arm up, extend, expand, tailbone to crown, fingertip to fingertip. Reach out through the fingertips, the right hand, look up if it's right, look down if it's right, let the head hang if that's better. And then take that one really mindful breath. And then pressing into your left foot, rise back up, come all the way up. Turn the left toes to match the right toes. Bring the hands behind your back. Again, bend the elbows. Squeeze the inner elbows in and back. So you start off elbows bent to get the shoulder blades to hug the spine. And then extend the arms. Lift the chest. Push your hips forward. Make your legs strong. Back bend here with wide legs. And then fold forward at your hips. Take the crown of your head down to the floor as the knuckles fall forward. And then to stretch the wrists, let your palms pull apart. So you're just holding onto the fingers. but your hands can separate. Your palms don't have to touch here. And then sending the arms forward. Nice job. Lower the hands to the back. Squeeze the elbows in, lift back up. Nice. And then you can release your hands. You can heel toe your feet in a little bit. Step to the top of your mat. We're going to take one vinyasa, and it's the last part of our flow this morning. Inhale, the arms reach high. Fold it forward. Look for all that space you've created in your body, in that bow. Full inhale to lengthen the spine, looking forward and out. And on your exhale, palms down, stepping to plank pose. Take your time to get there and pause. Check the alignment of your body. The thighs squeeze in, the heels push back, the tailbone lengthens, the heart is forward, shoulder blades on back. Inner hands grounded. Take a full inhale breath here. Look forward a little bit, Abby. And then exhale, lower down with the elbows along the ribs. Optional to use those knees. Flip the feet, point the toes, make the legs super heavy. Lift the chest upward or cobra. Find that back bend as you roll the shoulders into the back, actively moving the shoulder blades together. And then exhale to a downward dog. Lift the hips high. Take the thighs, move them back in space. Press into the fingertips, both hands, and get the sits bones to reach back, back, back even further. And then sink the heels into the floor. Take a big breath in and out. Nice. Drop the knees down to the floor. Slide the right knee forward to the right wrist. And then spin your right foot to the back of your left wrist. Try to keep your right knee right behind or outside of that right wrist for pigeon pose prep. You can grab your right foot with your left hand even and kind of maneuver it forward, and then start to slide your left leg back. Continue to hug midline with the left inner thigh though. So it's kind of like your left inner thigh is still trying to move in towards the center of the mat as you extend it. And that will keep the left kneecap straight down, the toes straight back from the hip. On your fingertips, maybe walking your hands to your knees and your foot even. Lift your chest. You can even frame your hips if that's available to you. Just letting the hips settle in and sink down. And then folding forward over your right shin. Melting through the hips. Dropping the head. Take one more breath here. And then slowly make your way back into your palms. Curl the left toes under, either step back to downward dog or slide it back to the knees is an option as well. If you come to your knees, you can circle your hips around, maybe a few cat-cows. If you come to downward dog, pedal out the legs. And drop back down into your knees. Bring your left knee, slide it forward to your left wrist. And begin to pivot on that knee, bringing the left foot behind the right wrist. Keep the left knee to the back or outside of your left wrist though. So try not to bring it in towards the middle. As your right leg goes back, your inner thigh hugs a midline. You melt into the hips as you walk your fingertips into the floor. Maybe walk the hands back to the foot of the knee. Maybe the hips are framed by the fingertips. Take a big breath in. Lift and open the chest. Find a way of keeping the heart open right now, right here. Lift and open. And then fold on your exhale. Bow in over that left shin. Crawl the arms out. Drop the head. Your last few breaths, maybe let that right hip roll a little heavier into the left heel. And then moving slow, lift yourselves up out of the shape. Take it to hands and knees or back to downward facing dog. Move around, circle hips, a few cat-cows, or pedal the legs. Drop down into the knees. Take the feet to the side and roll all the way back. Gather the legs in around the chest. And then drop the knees over to the right. As they come down to the floor, use your right palm at your outer left knee. Take your left arm and extend it all the way over to the left side of the room. The eyes close. And let the only thing that is important to you in this moment is just noticing each breath to its fullest. Notice the subtleties of the breath, the temperature, the feeling as the breath comes to the nose, the feeling of the breath moving into the chest and the belly, into the ribs. Let thoughts fall away. The spaces between them start to widen and open naturally. And slowly, with your next few rounds of breath, bring the knees back to neutral. Take the shape to the opposite side. Knees fall over to the left. The left hand holding the outer right knee as the right arm reaches to the side wall. The gaze follows the fingertips. And once again, settle in. The breath comes in There's a pause, and the breath pours out. With your next few rounds of breath, just slowly begin to bring the knees back to neutral. Reach down and take the inner edges of each foot, knees on the outside of the elbows, bending the knees deeply for happy baby, drawing the knees down. From the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. What saves us from ourselves is the power of our own honest gaze, which remains a cleansing agent that can wash out whatever thickens within us and washes off whatever grows over us. As a cleansing agent, self-reflection is indispensable to staying fully alive. We wouldn't think of going more than a few days without washing or showering. So think of facing ourselves as spiritual hygiene. Because the clogged up self is the petty self, the one who ventures into the world and only finds me. But the cleansed self is transparent. The one who feels the aliveness and pain in everything. This is the self that serves as an inlet to the whole world. Gently release your feet. Set them down to the floor. And slowly begin to walk the legs all the way out. Walk the arms out and make space. The palms turned up. The chin turned slightly down towards the throat. Take a big breath in, hold, and exhale through the mouth. With each exhale, another breath in. Let your body get heavier and heavier into the floor. And exhale out. Letting go of anything that distracts you from seeing yourself truly and fully in this moment. Inhale. Drop in deeper, exhale. From here, sealing the lips and breathing naturally through the nose. Letting your breath happen however it wants to happen. No judgment, just watching, just being curious. choose your next breath. Slowly reach to your right. Just to the right of you is a cold lavender towel. You can take that towel, bring it over the face, the throat, back of the neck. It takes more than just a curious interest to sustain the effort and to be willing to engage that inner terrain. So as you come off your mats this morning, maybe inwardly challenging yourself to stay present to yourself, to shine a light on the inner workings of your being, to be curious. To not be put off by the boredom, the scary stuff you find, maybe the familiar, the habits, the ugly. Feel free to stay as long as you like right here in this place, resting. Or if it's time for you to start to leave your practice, your mat, take your time and quietly begin to exit. Namaste.